flick.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Still morning? Okay. Just wanted to give you a quick rundown, some new things going on with events. First of all, I want to thank all those of you who came out and enjoyed the barbecue. That was a great event. That was a lot of fun. Thank also the Rotary for the balloon and the golf ball madness. That was terrific. It was just a great afternoon, and for those of you who didn't come, I would recommend that you might want to come in the future. That was not only just terrific food and fun, but watching a couple hundred golf balls hit concrete is a lot of fun, especially from 60 feet up in the air. So anyway, that was wonderful, and thank you. Everybody that I talked to really appreciated the day and enjoyed it out there. It is a beautiful place, and we will be going back. As far as the future goes, in order, the next thing up as far as special events is concerned is the Christmas luncheon, which is sold out. Happens every year. It happened again this year. There is a waiting list that you can get on. There are always people who have last-minute issues and would like to sell their tickets if possible. So we do provide the waiting list through the newsletter, and you can get on the waiting list, and any available tickets will be offered for sale to the people on the waiting list in order of you signing up on the waiting list. So there is that option. Doesn't cost you anything to get on the waiting list. I would give that a try if you're interested in going to the luncheon. Also, you're aware that we have canceled the Christmas party for this year, and we've replaced that, for this year anyway, with a couple of other events. The first one is going to be December 21st. It's going to be a Christmas-themed social at Cha-Cha's, where we had our previous, in fact, the very first event we had after we started up was a social at Cha-Cha's. It was very successful, a lot of fun. The food is fantastic. There's lots to do. It's a nice place. We had great music. It's just a wonderful evening, and we're going to do that again. And those tickets are also going to be. Are they on the site now for the social? They will be. Which means the one that comes out in a day or two, you'll be able to get on the buy a ticket to the social. That will be again on December 21st. The other event we replaced it with is really a step in a different direction for us. We've done wine tastings before. We have never done one of the magnitude of this year's. It's going to be at the Malia Hotel. It is shaping up to be just a spectacular evening. The Malia is going to do 6 different wines. There will be a 7th wine that our welcoming committee is providing for us. Sort of a cleansing wine to start the evening, and then we will get into the program. It is admittedly more expensive than we have done in the past. However, there's been a great deal of interest. And the way it's going to work is really simple. We have 28 people right now that have indicated they would like to come. We need 30 in order to book the event. So as soon as we get 2 more people, we will book the event as far as with the Malia is concerned. Then we will offer tickets for sale. The first 30 people that buy tickets will have an opportunity to help us determine the food menu for that night. We will publish the different, there's 3 different courses that need to be selected, and there is a variety of choices within each course. So the first 30 ticket buyers will be sent the menu, will have an opportunity to pick their 5 favorites. That will come back to us. and we will collect that and whittle that down to 3 of each group. And those will be available with the appropriate wines. And then there is also a pasta station of pasta made to order that you'll be able to take advantage of as well. And it will be at the Malia, and for anybody who has enjoyed the Malia for another event or who has not been there, I really think you're going to be pleased with this one. So the cost on that is 1,500 baht for members, 1,800 baht for non-members. Those tickets will again go on sale as soon as we have enough people that say they want to go, and the option to answer. All you gotta do is answer the survey in the newsletter, and that will tell us whether or not you want to go.
What day?
That is the 10th of. See, I'm one of these people that needs glasses. Get on my hands and knees and go to one of these schools. January 10th. 6:30 to 9:30. Following that, on February 12th, will be the market tour we've been talking about. Jim Anthony is putting that on. There will be 3 different markets that are attended during the day, as well as a nice lunch in between. It was a lot of fun the last time that we did it, and I expect it will be about the same. It's probably limited to 40 people because we can only get 40 on the bus. So that will be another limited ticket item. Well, they're all limited tickets now anyway. So that's our special event schedule from now through February. Nancy?
Reconfirm the date of Malia.
Malia is January 10th. Yeah.
Is that a non-wine day for you, Nancy?
You got school the next day?
Carrying on.
You're going to have a challenge then. Okay. As far as our ongoing things, of course, the FBC, our next one will be at Duke's Ping River. I think we will have made the circuit by then. That one, the tickets are already half sold, which is very unusual for a FBC. Usually those tickets are mostly sold in the just a few days prior to the event, and we're already over half sold for that one. So if you're looking to go to the FBC on December 2nd, I would urge you not to wait too long, because that is a very hard limit on tickets. There will be no showing up without a ticket. So, and that's a space consideration. So please, if you're going to go, don't miss out by waiting too long. General meetings, as you know, this is our second one here, second one in this room. We are basically looking at continuing to come here. This is a wonderful place to have a meeting, and the room is great. The service has been great. We are probably going to be here for the foreseeable future anyway. Remember, we do not have a GM in December, so the next one will be in January. And that's one thing you can just put on your schedule, that until further notice, we will be coming here on the 4th Saturday of every month. So, that is it as far as events go. If any of you have any questions or want to chat about them, I'll be around for a few minutes afterwards. Other than that, thank you very much.
Okay, we are fortunate to have Rico from the Swiss Chinese here. Hello, Rico.
Good thing I want a snake.
Hello? All right. Well, nice to see you all here. There is not that much things that have changed regarding the visa front, so I'm just going to address one thing today that maybe some of you have heard about, reporting your address and traveling. Actually, it doesn't concern most of you that have the retirement visa or eventually business visa. It was more targeting students So, you know, children and their parents, guardian visa, and eventually adults that had the student visa. But the thing is that after 1 week of trying to put that in place, they couldn't find a proper way to implement it because all of the schools were not willing to, you know, do the reports, and it was like additional work for them. So they actually scrapped it after 1 week. So none of you is really concerned by this, and nobody anymore really. So I know some of you are concerned about the TM30, which is the report of your address, because when you're traveling in other provinces, often, well, most of the time, the hotels will eventually take your passport and register you in that hotel, in that province, at that place. But this is just a regular procedure. It's mandatory for the hotel to do that. So you will be registered, let's say you have your house or your place in Chiang Mai. If you travel to Bangkok and stay in a hotel, the hotel will register you that. But it doesn't mean your address in Chiang Mai is not registered anymore. So at the moment, if you just do a quick trip and stay a couple of days in Bangkok or whatever and come back to Chiang Mai, there is technically nothing for you to do regarding your address in Chiang Mai. It's already registered. It's just coming back to your place. So as long as you stay at the same place, you return at the same address in Chiang Mai, there is nothing for you to do. You don't need to update it. You will have to update it eventually when it's the time to do the 90-day or the visa renewal, but there is no penalty. You don't have to do it within 24 hours of returning in the province or anything like that. Although, knowing the immigration can change these things from a day to the other, and you know, without notice, I do encourage you to do the updates of your TM30 if you can. You know, it's not like, oh my God, I have to go tomorrow to the immigration. But if you have the time, you know, come to see us at the office or your visa agent, or do it by yourself at the immigration and just update it. You know, if it's not necessary, but like I said, about a year and so ago, they just changed that policy from one day to another, and everybody had to pay a 1,600 baht fine because they didn't do something that was not required at the time. So if you don't want to have to pay that fine eventually, just do it if you can. All right, but it's not a rush. It's not like something that you must do immediately after you come back from your trip. All right. Now, since there is not that many things to talk about regarding visa, because there has been no real change. Eventually, those changes will come. As some of you may know, every year at the end of the year, there is a change. There is a rotation in the immigration officers from the different provinces. So every year at the end of the year, there is a new head officer of the Chiang Mai immigration and all the other provinces. They tend to like to do some change to mark the fact that they are new here and that they want to put their touch. So there may be some change, but all those changes are not usually big deals. It's more like a few details about the document you will have to provide and things like that. It's not going to change the visa processing fundamentally. It's just going to be an extra document here or an extra things there, something like that. So since there is not that much to talk about, I don't know if any of you have any questions regarding your visas.
Just 1 second, Suzanne, I'll get to you now.
I have a fresh case of having traveled, stayed one night away from my residence, and they took my passport, entered it in the system. I was told when I come back, it didn't matter whether I stayed in Chiang Mai for staycation, or went to Bangkok, or another province, or whatever, I had to file a new TM30. Now, I used a different company, agent, and I got 2 different answers from them to start with, and they went to immigration and got 2 different answers. So it's still very confused, but yeah, but in fact, that's what I was told. A little different instance is I have a son retired here who goes and does his 90-day report online. He didn't file a revised TM30 after having a short one-night trip somewhere else. When he came back and tried to do a new 90-day report, he was rejected because he had not filed a TN30 following his last trip. So there's just a couple of things that like confirm what you were saying about the confusion right now about TN30. So I would say that probably the last part of your advice is really good. File a TN30 if you've got new TN30 if you go away from your house overnight.
Well, yeah, the 90 days report online, it's really problematic because the system is not connected with the different province, like the different immigration from each province. So you will have to personally go to the immigration to update your TM30 in that case. But that only happens if you do it online. If you do your 90 days report via our agency or another agency or by yourself, they will see that you have a valid TM30 for the province of Chiang Mai. Nothing is going to be asked from you because you already have it. So the TM30 thing is really mainly if you change address. So like if you move to another house in Chiang Mai, you need to report. Technically immediately, but like I said, there is no fine and there is no, you can do it within the first week, it's fine. Most of the property agent will do this on your behalf. Most of the condo place, they will have a juristic person or an agent, like an office, sorry, and they can do it online for you. So if you live in a condo, you can go back to your place, go to see the juristic person, tell them I just returned from my trip to Bangkok. You give them the passport and they will find the TM30 on the spot online, and that way you'll be sure, and you don't even have to go to immigration. And most of the time they will give you some kind of a screenshot that they did it. So if anything is asked from you, you have the proof that it was done. Then yeah, for the 90-day report online, that's really problematic. I know some people like because it's very convenient. But there are often a lot of problem with it, and most of the people end up going to the immigration to make sure it was done correctly. So that defeats the purpose of doing it online. I hope that answers your question.
We have one more question here.
Yes, I just came back to Chiang Mai a month, 3 weeks ago, and I was told I didn't have to do the TN30 because I had a multi-entry visa. Have you heard of that one?
No, the type of visa doesn't.
No, I'm sorry, not visa, multi-entry.
The re-entry permit.
Yes,
On
and
your
because
permit.
I had bought multi-entry, they said I don't have to do the TN30.
Like I said, the TN30 is not related to the type of visa or the fact that you have a re-entry permit or not. It depends on the fact that you are coming back to the same address.
Yes.
If you were living at that place, did the trip and come back to the same address, there is technically no obligation for you to report. It's just an update. But like I said, you don't need to do it right now. At the next 90-day report, you will be able to update your TM30. But like I said, since they can change their mind and change things quickly, I do recommend, if you have the time, to either go to see your agent or go to the immigration to notify them. You are staying at the same address, so there are no specific document to give. You already have a TM30 registered at that address. You just hand them your passport, and they will see your TM30. They will just update it. That's it.
Yeah, but my point is, last time I came in, I didn't have a multi-entry. So they did the TM30. This time, because I had bought multi-entry, I don't have to do it.
Like I said,
And I'm still at the same address both occasions.
so it's not about the fact that you have multi-entry or not. It's the fact that you stay at the same address.
Yeah.
That's why you don't have to do it.
Okay, I have two more people who have their hands up. Is this a specific question to you because maybe Nico can handle it at the end, or is it a general question? What?
I just got back from a hotel stay last week. I didn't use my passport, I used my Thai ID. Is that going to be the same scenario? Is it going to change my TM30?
Yeah, because I'm not entirely sure, but the Thai ID should have your passport number on it. So they may have registered it. But like I said, like all this problematic around the TM30 right now, it's not a big problem. It just needs to be done. There is no penalty for doing. There is no time frame to do it on time or not. There is no fine. It's just something that we need to do before your next 90-day report or before your visa extension.
You recommended that we do it the next 90-day report. So I used you with OS-Thai visa. So is that something that you automatically do every time we do 90-day reports? You update the TM30?
Yes, if you have an address in Chiang Mai, and when at the time we go to immigration, they can see that you have been in Bangkok or wherever, they will automatically update your TM30 as back in Chiang Mai.
Great, questions done. Next speaker.
Thank you.
Shane, is this where you want me? I can't climb the steps, doesn't have a handrail, so. Couple things. Meals on Wheels for You. They are a sponsor of ours. They've been a sponsor for a number of years. They're the only locally owned food distribution business in the city, and they are in difficulties, some financial difficulties. And I don't know about you, but I get food delivered 4 or 5 times a week. I assume everybody at least uses some of these services. And I would just encourage you to give these guys a try. They have all their guys on salary. They get fees and commission and tips. So these guys are making a pretty good living, as opposed to all the other services, which are just contract employees that come and go. When you have a problem with Meals on Wheels for You, Mike and his team are right there to straighten it out. So I'd just give it a whirl. I mean, these folks, 85% of our operating funds come from our sponsors. And I personally have had both good and bad luck with Mike, but when I had bad luck, the problem got corrected pretty fast. So there's an app that you can download, Meals on Wheels for You. And admittedly, it's not the easiest site to learn to use, and he's been coached on updating that. But once you get used to it, it works pretty good. And right now you can get 10% off of everything at Duke's if you use Meals on Wheels as your carrier. And their fees are right in line with the low end of the rest. So. Well, free delivery based on certain minimum purchases, so you got to be real careful about that. Anyway, the board of directors has currently 11 members on it, which is how many we're supposed to have. We're losing 2 folks. Laura to retirement after 4 years of serving on the board, where she has participated in every single active committee and currently is the chairman of the donations committee and works with venues and events. And she's going to be truly missed. And we would certainly love to have somebody out here in this audience step up and take Laura's place. But really, I want to say thank you very much, Laura, for your dedicated service. She's just been a real superstar. She came to my breakfast table that went back to before the COVID, where we had bunches of new people, and I talked to her, and then we hooked her, and then she went on the welcome table and started selling tickets, and she didn't need another breakfast for 3 years until we went out to Duke's and Romechoke a few months ago. So
it was like Hotel California. You checked me in, and I've never been allowed to check out.
Right. We had this custom little chain bracelet thing that we took for her. But anyway, I want to thank you very much. It's been a pleasure working with you, and she is planning on staying on and running the donations committee. You're going to hear a little bit about her and her people, what's going on in just a few minutes. And then I know that you know that Miss Julia who this is her first year on the board, and she took over one of the most difficult assignments. And I have found that our programs have been quite enlightening this year, and she's going to be missed very, very much. So thank you so much, Julia. And that's really all I have for you guys, unless you've got something for me.